Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Luck. He's going to launch this thing way down. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-up.
Now a hit and Luck lost the football. It's out. But I believe a Lion was there to recover it. Yes, they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Well, that run good for 6 yards, but they're still looking up at a 3rd and 15.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
3rd and long. It's Luck. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he had a nifty little deep juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys are good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
Give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep the hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Here's high, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
On play action, it's Bortles. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
If post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Detroit. And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
I think if you talk to their head coach, you'll get a nice answer about how much he likes his team and what they're doing. But at the end of it, he would admit there's definitely room to improve.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the gun, it's Bortles. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now a run with Hyde. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Going a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back at him. They get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand. And a really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Locke. He's got Watkins on the out route. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Going up top. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give them a gain of 37.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw on 2nd down is Love. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
From the gun on 3rd down, Love to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And Adams has it complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know they're securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And this is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. On second down, Hyde. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. Tackle made there by Zach Brown. Luck now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's caught by Howard. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. He's got Adams on the hookup. And they've got it inside the 10 and the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. Bortles now on first down. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And it's third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get the game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive back.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead, he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
A second down carry for Booker. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding him to no gain.
He finds Coleman. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. To me, that's a terrific run on first and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
They'll run for him with Hyde. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it third and goal. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Holding, receiving team.
That holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. When that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down. Out of the gun, Luck. He completes it to Bryant. He's still barreling through. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
A shotgun snap for Locke. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. 2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And now trotting back out with the rest of his offensive mates. Luck on 1st down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively. Block on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On 1st down, Bortles. They set up the screen to Booker. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now Bortles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Bortles now on 1st down. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tremont Williams there to break that one up.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the 1st half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. That is caught inside the 5. A good pickup there, a 22.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together.
Touchdown, Packers! Austin Safarian-Jenkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To throw on second down is Locke. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Locke. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. The final shot before the break. Locke. And this is incomplete. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The third quarter begins with a run by Hyde. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They run it again with Hyde. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tremont Williams, a veteran corner there on the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. To throw, it's Bortles. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
And a key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive. 3rd down. Spectacular catch. Turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. He finds Hearns left side. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a real...
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
5 yards on the pickup, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a play fake. Bortles. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they get 14 yards there and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And back to the ground. Hyde. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be fourth down. And the kick by Butker is good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
First and 10, Locke. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area, let your quarterback hit you.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Here's Luck now on second down. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be...
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Jaron Reed breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Well, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. First down, a run with Hyde. No gain on the play there, second down.
When trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now Bortles. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On 2nd down, here's Love. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Luck now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Love. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle? Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And this is Moncrief for the catch. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing now is Bortles. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he checks this one down to Williams. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
Over the middle, complete. That's Rodgers. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but more minute they want another to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They end up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And this is going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, but made it very difficult.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They go play action here on first down. Caught, Safarian Jenkins, right side. Now the ball comes loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill, but the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his third touchdown now on the year, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Luck on first down. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't even save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Locke. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Locke steps away to his left, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Locke showing he can be dangerous when he tucks it and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
How about that scramble by Andrew Luck? Sometimes we forget just how big, strong, and, yes, fast Andrew Luck is. When he came out of college at the Combine, shocked everyone, ran a sub-4.840.
And he grew up a big soccer guy over in Europe, so he knows how to use his feet.
That he does, and I think it has helped his legs along the way as well.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there, and if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle, keep coming after them, put the pressure on them.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Davante Adams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a first down throw. Locke over the middle. He's got Watkins. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
That's 30 yards now in the last two plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. They run it again with Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bryant. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand.
Offside, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do? I
don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. And nobody was open downfield there. Looked like a pretty clear throwaway.
Yeah, definitely was that. I'm wondering why there wasn't intentional grounding. I know they're saying there's a receiver there in the area. Those darn quarterbacks, they get away with everything.
Spoken like a true defensive back, Mr. Davis.
Did that come out?
It did.
Okay.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call the timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And partner, the defense, they were keyed in on him early, but his talent shining through as of late.
I like what you said about keyed in because it all started in their first meeting of game planning for this game, where they went over things with their team and said, all right, this is the guy we have to take out of the game. Make sure you get enough coverage on him, all the different defenses. Sometimes you run everything you've got in the first half, and they adjust in the second half and start to play better.
Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Now it's Luck. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Luck. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Luck. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is fielded at the goal line. So here come the Lions now. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Right side complete to Butler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. This is Logan. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Adrian Claiborne in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance. You got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
First throw of overtime for Bortles. Drops it underneath for Booker. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Bortles going to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Demarcus Lawrence in there to sack him for a loss of 6. He's coming off an impressive Pro Bowl campaign in 2017.
You're talking about 14.5 sacks, tied for 2nd in the NFL. But now when offensive linemen hear the name Demarcus Lawrence, they quake in their boots. How do we block this guy off the edge?
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. They begin the drive with Williams. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Locke. Over the middle, Rodgers has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And these numbers on our monitor are getting hard to believe. He's closing in now right on the doorstep of 500 yards passing.
I'm glad that you watched the monitor and said it first because I had trouble absorbing that. That's big time right there, right? That means everything just about has gone right for them and his squad in this game. Let's see if they can keep it up.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Partner, this is a pretty good drive they're putting together. And I know if I'm on the other sideline, that offense, kind of helpless, isn't it? Because they may not touch the football at all because if they go down and score a touchdown, this thing's over.
Absolutely. That would write an ending to this script. We'll see what happens. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st. They'll run it here with Logan. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he stopped immediately there. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Again, it's Williams. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he got it! That kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Detroit, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.